Hey fam, welcome to class. Welcome to your handstand skills. Today, Ariel's been learning how to do a bunch of handstands, and today we are gonna work into it in an interesting way. And I'm gonna teach her and teach you guys some uh, um an interesting skill that I've used in my practice that has improved my handstands immensely. All you need is like, maybe one or two tennis balls, maybe even the yoga strap or, anything you can squeeze in between your hip flexors. So yes, we're basically going to take the objects, place them in between our hip flexors, and then squeeze the knees towards the chest. So that's the goal. That's the mission for today. And then we're going to attempt some handstands. You don't have to do any handstands. Let's warm up the hands while we get to it. So place the hands down. Just move around, be animalistic. So you don't actually have to do any handstands, and you can experiment in some creative ways. This class will also help you step forward if you're trying to step to the front of the mat, or otherwise if you're just trying to get some airtime. This is a lovely class to kind of build that skill. So we're not going to spend too much time doing handstands. It's more quality over quantity. So move the hands left, right, be animalistic. Just get used to having the weight in your hands. So you can see two perspectives here today. You'll see one perspective of me getting getting into new spaces as I practice in my personal experience. And you'll notice Ariel trying this for maybe the second time and see how she handles it, right? So if you feel like you're struggling at any point, notice that there's a difference when you've done this a while and when you're approaching this for the first time. There's a massive difference, and the skill starts to build eventually. So, all right. So if the hands feel good, 0 to 5 push-ups, knees down or knees straight, and just go for it. I'm going for 1 to make sure the elbows are going in. 3, 4, 5, and relax. Just to wake the hands up. Good job. Swing the wings, open up space. All right. So the idea for a handstand today is it's kind of like, imagine you're in a bit of a passive squat and you're going to squeeze the knees somewhere to your collarbones, and you're, again, intentionally, it's not actually going to get there unless you're super flexible, and the hands are going to go up to the sky, right? I mean, so this will be a position upside down. So the knees come closer to your armpits as the hands push up to the sky. That's what we're going to be working with. And later, when we take the objects, either the tennis balls or maybe some oranges, I don't know, whatever you have at hand, and in your kitchen, you might want to take it, squeeze it in. So maybe you want to try this movement, So get into your posture. You can take it, try it out. So you want to sit in your passive squat. You want to squeeze the objects in between your hip flexors, take your hands up, and feel that motion of squeezing. So you're trying to squeeze in. You be on your toes, it's perfectly fine. You don't have to be flat on the ground. And you notice it's actually pretty challenging. It does, it does have a bit of a challenge to hold it and squeeze it in. However, you don't have to have the hardest squeeze. It can be, you can squeeze and release, and that's what we're working with. So try it one more time. And this is a sneaky little warm-up for the feet as well. I know we're doing handstands and we're going to spend time on our hands, but it's good to warm up the feet because our feet, our core, and our hip flexors also, help us work into it. It's a sneaky one for the core as well. So let that go, take a break. You can keep your objects aside for a moment and just try your first handstand. So I'm going to show you a handstand from my perspective, and then I'll help Aerial get into one. If you have a friend, if you have a wall, if you have something to support you along the way, take it. So I'm going to jump off of both feet, and then I'm going to get my legs in towards me. So it's like a little bit of a wide angle, and I'm squeezing the knees in. So you notice I'm pulling my toes. I'm not pointing them, I'm pulling them in. And I'm getting the knees close to my chest. So let's go. You can try your first handstand. So you don't need the objects yet. You just get into it. Try it from a lower position. See how that feels. And if you have a wall behind you, take it. If you're not holding for time, you're holding for control, so it's more quality or quantity. So take what shows up today. Squeeze into the hands, look in between your thumbs, and go for it. Nice. Very cool. Pull the toes towards you. Press the ground away. Very relaxed. Nothing intense. Handstands are just another place to be. Wonderful. Pull the toes in. Try and use your core. So Ariel's going to try and use her core to pull in while pulling the hip flexors closer to her. So you're going to try and squeeze my hands in. I'm holding your hip flexors, so you're going to try and squeeze my hands. And let it go. Wonderful. So that was a good first handstand warm up. All right. So maybe you want to do that 1 or 2 times, but don't tire yourself out. This can be a bit fatiguing. So once you feel ready, let's say, even if you want, you can pause the video, take it a few times. If that feels groovy, feels good, grab your objects and let's play. So I'll show you from this angle. I'm going to place the objects in between my hip flexors. Gonna lean forward, like I'm going to jump in a low entry. So my entry is not high, my butt isn't in the air. It's a low entry. Wow. I'm just being a frog over here. And I'm going to hop and squeeze. So you can take it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Take your time with it till maybe you catch it. And you notice my hips are, my tailbone is tucking as I squeeze the objects inside. Okay? If they fall out for any reason, try again. Try again, try a few times. Notice what shows up. And smile along the way. What's the rush, right? This is one exercise along the journey towards your handstands. Well, it's a fun game to play. So, let's try it, let's go for it. You know the drill, you want to look in between your thumbs. Wonderful. Good jump. Press the ground away, look in between your thumbs, and go. Go for it. Maybe you have a friend, maybe you have a wall. Maybe you have both. Oh no! We lost the ball. We lost the ball. I'll go get it. All right. I suggest pause the video right about now. I'm gonna go find the rogue ball that decided to run away. Practice this a few times and come back. Come back. We found the ball. The rogue ball didn't get away. All right. So I hope you practice this a few times. Wow, I went into the forest for that one. Cool. So now we'll do the same thing, except we're going to do a cartwheel. And a cartwheel with the balls, or the objects, or anything you want to play with. It's going to be madness, it's going to fall, totally okay. So you want to start maybe towards the left side of your mat. I'll just show you the hand position. So my right hand goes to the back of the mat, with my right fingertips facing back. Then my left fingertips face back, and then I hop. So if I'm going left, my left hand goes down, left fingertips face the back of the mat, right hand goes down, and then I hop. Okay? Take it once or twice, see how that feels. Go for it. So you're twisting, and you hop. Very tiny hop, it doesn't have to be intense. And you're grooving, you're just having a good time. The idea is you just want to face the front of where you started. So if you are jumping right, you want to be able to face forward again. Nice. You can be graceful, or you could be a drunk monkey. I always like to be a drunk monkey sometimes. So now, same idea. You grab your objects of interest. You find a passive squat. You squeeze the objects in between your hip flexors and take your cartwheel. This one is way more challenging because the legs have to squeeze as you land and as you jump. You want to give it a shot? I'll stand behind you in case the balls go a bit rogue. So take your time with it. And don't worry if the balls fall or the objects fall in any way. Laugh about it. Pick it up. This one does get challenging when you're trying to land and face the same direction. However, it's a lot of fun. Try and lift the legs up a bit more. Try and squeeze the knees up. And you're trying to get your hips above your wrists. So when the hips are above your wrists, that gives you more space to be able to groove. Nice. Nice. Take it one more time. Balance it out. And let the hands open, so you're letting the hands flow, not being very aesthetically, you're not looking for aesthetics. So now, the trick is, after you do these a few times, you let go of them, because you do not need them. Notice the difference in your cartwheels now. Look at that control that starts to build. You're able to move. Maybe you catch a handstand midway. Maybe you groove. Try. See how that feels within your being. The idea for adding the objects is really simple. It gives you a bit more control into your hip flexors. It gives you a bit more control into the movements. And it gives you something interesting to work towards. So it gives you a point to focus your energy into. And I noticed that it also builds so much of skill over time. So take your time with this one, play with it, and notice what shows up. And don't worry if it doesn't work out the first time or the second time. This one is a challenge. And like I said, it's a matter of quality over quantity. Take breaks along the way, play with it, and notice how you feel. So I hope you had fun with us along the way. And the idea is to build together, to grow together, and just keep playing, experimenting, and notice what shows up in your being. So let us know how it goes. Did you have a good time? Was this challenging? Was it interesting? And how did your cartwheels and handstands kind of play? So even if you're struggling with handstands, how did the cartwheels work out? Was it nice being a kid again? Was it nice being 5 years old again? So let us know. And thank you so much for practicing. I wish you a wonderful day. Peace.